So here's a quick one about a husband and father who's only been married to his wife for like 3 years and just found out that his wife, for years now, has not only been sending spicy pictures, but selling spicy pictures to their brother-in-law, her sister's husband. And understandably, this guy's done with her, kicking her to the curb, and of course she's so sorry, we'll do anything to make up for blah, blah, blah. But nope, he's done. Now, we're going to go over, guys, showing you have to do your homework on your girl. You always pay attention for red flags. And sadly, nowadays, even if you don't see any red flags, you keep looking for red flags because, the world we're in right now. Titled, I caught my wife sending pictures to my brother-in-law, and is our marriage salvageable at this point? Smack! I have to ask that question. And a shout out to Nishad for sending me this story. Don't worry, guys, he's done with her, though. My wife, Jessica, 34-year-old female, and I, a 35-year-old male, have been married for 3 years, and we dated for 2 years before that. Smack! You telling me that you dated her for 2 years and then got married? So it's like probably he was dating her for like a year or so, then proposed, then they got married, because they're going to spend some time typically planning that wedding. Barely knew her. This is what happens. And before that, we have a 2-year-old daughter. Jessica has 2 sisters. The eldest one, a 38-year-old female, is married to Jake, a 40-year-old male. A week ago, I came home from work early and wanted to scare Jessica. I tried to be sneaky, but somehow I slipped and accidentally hurt my back. Dude. Jessica came to my rescue. I went to the bedroom and she went to the kitchen to get an ice pack. Her phone was on the bed, and a WhatsApp notification came from Jake saying, "You've got the best pair I've ever seen." He's like, excuse me? Is this Jake as in my brother-in-law and your brother-in-law? I immediately knew what was happening. I unlocked the phone and saw that she had just sent some pictures and a video of her boobs to Jake. And there were no previous chats before that. When Jessica came back to the room, I showed her the chat and asked, how long? Imagine that, you're finding out your freaking wife is sending spicy pictures to technically a family member. Yes, he is the brother-in-law, so it's obviously not like blood, but still. Oh my God. And then worse yet, when you find out what else is going on here. He says, I've known this woman for 10 years, and I've never seen her so mortified. Her eyes got teary, and she said, "Babe, I'm sorry, but I can explain." So I said, go on. Right there. Right out of the Hobag Handbook. So sorry, the tears, I can explain. What the hell are you going to explain? You're sending freaking spicy pictures to our brother-in-law. According to her, at the end of 2019, she was struggling with money, and Jake suggested he would help her out. Yeah, I can tell. He hinted that he would like to see her pictures. I feel like I'm writing a PORN script at this point, he said. So she sent him some pictures, and it continued over the years. She swears there was nothing emotional or physical involved. It was purely transactional. Oh, wow, okay, fine. I feel so much better then. You've been doing this crap before we were actually officially even dating, or they said 5 years. It's 2019, so it's 2024. So right around the time they started dating officially, because he said he knew her before. And certainly before they were married, she's doing this crap. For 5 years, she's been collecting money. I didn't believe any of it, but then she showed me on Venmo, and that mother effer paid her $300 yesterday. He paid her $300 for a quick video about her boobs? I mean, goddamn, is it like some Pamela Anderson 1992 boobs we're talking about here? I mean, shit. I mean, at least she's getting paid a decent amount of money for a quick little video here. But still, it's time for her to go. I then told her it's been 5 years. Try to remember if anything physical happened. For me, if even half of what she's saying is true, how could something like that not become physical? Exactly. There's no way I'm going to believe that he's been paying her all this money for 5 years and never once it went further. Come on here. She started crying and told me she could prove it tomorrow because Jake would get suspicious if she tried to talk to him now. Of course, the waterworks are back. So I took her phone and went to a bar, got wasted for the night, and when I came back, she was still there crying. I just slept on the couch. Dude, no, how about she sleeps on the couch? The next morning, I gave her the phone and she called Jake. The conversation goes something like this. Jessica says, "Hey, I was wondering if you want some more pictures." And Jake said, "I'm short of money. Yesterday I spent it all." Jessica says, we can do something more this time and meet in person. I've changed my mind on that. And Jake said, no way, how much are we talking about? So, even though Jessica's an a-hole, look at this little entrapment going on here. So obviously, this is something that he wanted to do. And now she's like, oh, we can do something about this. And he's like, oh, how much money are we talking about? I felt like I was going to barf. I told her that we are done and left for the office. I'm not a wealthy dude, but I would consider myself a stable guy who could take care of his family. Now I just feel like I've failed as a man whose wife had to sell her body to meet her expected lifestyle. Bro, you did not fail as a man. The only thing you did that was dumb is that you married her after like 2 years of dating. Now, he did say that he knew her for 10 years before he married her or something. He's known her for 10 years. So obviously he knew her. Then they eventually started dating and they got married. I gotta wonder if it was like they were friends and he was in the friend zone and finally she picked him or something like that. That's what tells me. But regardless, you're not a failure. She's the failure. Stop beating yourself up. But that's just how us guys are. But you're still young, in your early 30s. You can move past this. When I got home that night, she looked like crap. I asked Jessica why she kept taking money from him after we got married and why she didn't ask me while we were dating. She said she didn't know how to stop and that it was easy money. I left my home that night and told her she can keep the house and the car, but I want 50-50 custody of my child. And there you go. Now, screw that. I'm not getting her the house. I'd be like, no, I'm getting something for this house. He should wait till he talks to a lawyer before making any deals. So here I am right now. I haven't told anybody about this. It's been a week since staying at a hotel. I go home in the evening to play with my daughter. I'm speaking with the divorce lawyers, and Jessica is constantly talking about marriage counseling. At this point, I don't know what to do. I still love her, but I can't wrap my head around the things that she did. Bro, don't even try to wrap your head around it. I guarantee you it was a big attention and validation. It was easy money for her. I mean, all these years she's been hiding that from you. Not to mention that's tax evasion. Lord knows how much that idiot brother-in-law was paying. If I'm this guy, aside from the brother-in-law deserving an ass whooping, he needs to go and inform her, his sister-in-law, his wife, Jessica's sister, about what her husband's doing. That's what he needs to do. But yeah, he's talking to a lawyer, find out the options, good, bad, or ugly, it is over. You can't stay with her after all that. No, fucking no. And regardless how much he begs and pleads, and marriage counseling, my butt. Like that's going to do anything. It'll just be a marriage counselor probably trying to tell him to forgive her. Nonsense. But notice, all he cares about is his daughter. And that's actually pretty admirable and cool of him, but he can do better than that. I hope he is in an at-fault state. But absolutely, he needs to control the narrative and make sure that this scumbag's wife knows all about this type of thing. And if anybody says, oh, you're going to ruin the family, no, you're not ruining the family. The brother-in-law and this dude's wife, Jessica, they ruined the family. Now, real quick, some comments here. One guy says, OP, don't go through this in isolation. Your wayward wife has been hiding this S-word relationship with her sister's husband for your entire relationship. She did not confess but lied to you until you had irreparable proof. There's no coming back from this. She will lie and hide when cornered. You need to get proof of what happened. Tell her that you want to talk about what happened and how to move forward. Meet her in person and use your phone to secretly record the conversation where you ask her for specifics about what happened and for her to go into detail. Well, that's a great plan, but make sure that's actually legal in this state, because there's some places where it's illegal if you record somebody, definitely in terms of like visual, but maybe even also on audio without their knowledge. So I don't want them to get in any trouble here. Once you have the proof secured to inform your sister-in-law about what happened, as she deserves to know the piece of crap her husband and sister are. Don't let on about it or share the recording at first, but let your wife know that if she lies, that you will. And another one, this guy says, ugh, what is wrong with people? I'm sorry this happened to you. I can't believe your wife would do this to her sister, to her husband, and to her daughter. Repulsive. And she kept this up for years. She should just go ahead and get on OnlyFans now if her censor secret is out. All this for money is disgraceful. Living a double life, there's no salvaging this. Show the lawyers proof of what she has done. You deserve much better. You did not fail. She did. You must tell the entire family what she has done, her sister, and your parents. Yes, exactly. But this guy better be careful, because I bet you his parents, seeing chaos, will beg and plead for him to stay with his wife and everybody to forgive so it doesn't mess up their whole family. Do not let her control the narrative. No amount of tears she can shed can patch up years of whoring herself for money and her brother-in-law and destroying her own family along with her sister. Love will never be enough to stay. Amen. So there you go. So guys, again, you got to do your homework and you got to pay attention. And it's just so sad when this stuff happens. But this guy, I mean, I get, nobody wants to hear this about someone they love and married to and have a kid with. But he's handling it quite well. And I'm not too concerned about him saying, but I still love her, or, what do I do? He knows what to do. So I wish him, and I'm sure you all wish him the absolute best.